In this video, we're going to look at the contributions that Terance Mann made in Friday's win for the Clippers. One of the things that Terance Mann has been able to do early on in his professional career in the NBA is get downhill to the rim and be a solid finisher. Ivica Zubac sets him a screen, Zach LaVine correctly goes under it, but Terance Mann navigates this by meandering through two defenders and going up strong with a finish around the rim while drawing the foul and getting to the free throw line. The other area of Terance Mann's game that he's going to have to, buckle down with and hone as the years go on is his ability to hit a mid-range jumper. Zubac sends him a screen. Terance Mann is then going to snake the pick and roll back to the middle of the floor as we see here, and is going to rise up with a jumper right over the top of the defender. It's not a high quality jumper, but it's one that he needs to make, and he does that here. Another weapon for Mann offensively is his ability to get to the offensive glass and create second shots. Here he slips the pick and roll with Lou Williams. Lou Williams makes the pass and it does get deflected. Fortunately for the Clippers, they are going to get this ball back. And as Williams ends up going up with a shot, we're going to just highlight Mann here. He is going to knife into the paint to give himself an opportunity to get the offensive rebound. And when the rebound comes off, he's going to tip it back to his team with 12 on the clock, and he earns his team another possession late in the clock, late at the end of a quarter, and a chance to get them a bigger lead than they already have right now. Kawhi Leonard's going to eventually get to the free throw line because of a foul on this drive to end the quarter. But none of this happens without Mann's instincts and his ability to get to the offensive glass and make plays happen. Lastly, as far as the offensive end goes, Mann does have a good ability to be a good passer. And we're going to see that on this final play. Terance Mann's going to get the ball in the corner, and he's going to attack this defender in tight coverage. As he gets downhill to the rim, he's going to read the help defender down low, and it allows him to spot Nicolas Batum open in the corner. He kicks it to Batum, and this is a solid look late in the shot clock for Batum, who's just basically a knockdown shooter in the left corner. Marcus Morris gets the offensive rebound. He tips it. It doesn't go in, but Terance Mann, being a great passer, makes a possession like this possible for the Clippers. I can go on for days about how Terance Mann hustles, especially on the defensive end, but we're going to see that in this play. The Clippers are going to switch this little screen action, and thus Mann becomes the defender on Zach LaVine. Mann hustles around the top of the screen and draws the offensive foul because the screen was not set at the proper time and location. Clippers head coach Ty Lue opted to let Mann pressure LaVine in the backcourt quite a bit, and one of the reasons he allowed him to do this is because he wanted to take LaVine out of his comfort zone. We're going to end up seeing right here, Mann is matched up against LaVine. He's making his life already a living hell. Like, this is tough defense. It's forcing LaVine to work very hard to even get to the ball. As the screener comes up, which is Thaddeus Young, he's going to slip the screen. But something interesting happens here. Terance Mann strings LaVine out a little bit, and by jumping and trying to get his foot into the passing lane, allows Ivica Zubac to get back in position and to force Chicago into this little flip shot by Thaddeus Young, which the Clippers will take all day. This play begins with Terance Mann in what was considered top lock position. He's trying to ball deny Zach LaVine over the top of the screens. As LaVine cuts, Mann stays with him. And the whole thing for Mann here is just to ball deny LaVine or just to make his life tougher. As the handoff happens with Young, Mann's going to go under the screen and knife through the bigs and come out the other side to contest this LaVine jumper. This isn't an amazing contest, but he does a good enough job of contesting this to help force the miss by LaVine. One of the things you want to do as a defender is force an offensive player away from the angles that he wants to use. Mann ices this screen. He doesn't allow LaVine to get to the middle of the floor and instead pushes him left. When LaVine goes to hop into his step back three-pointer, Mann navigates the space very well and gives a great contest on this shot. And ultimately, LaVine misses the look and the Clippers get another stop thanks to Terance Mann. On this play, LaVine tries to get downhill, but Mann does a good job of walling him off and allowing Batum to get a hand on the ball to deflect it. As Chicago corrals the ball and initiates their offense again, they're going to flow into a handoff between Young and LaVine. But Mann navigates underneath the screen because he knows his length will allow him to contest a Zach LaVine pull-up. As LaVine goes to shoot the three-pointer, Mann gets a great contest on this shot, and he ends up forcing another LaVine miss on the night. This final play is the best two-way play of Mann's night. He's pressuring Ryan Arcidiacono up the floor, as he had all night to Chicago ball handlers. But this play in particular is interesting because it starts on the defensive end and ends on the offensive end. As Mann comes down to the corner to guard, Diacono is going to fly up the wing, and Mann gets screened. But he's still going to get out to the potential shooter, excuse me. And as Arcidiacono goes through his process here, Chicago's going to set a flare screen on the backside against Mann. But Mann stays in position, doesn't get beat by this, and intercepts the pass being made to Arcidiacono. Mann is going to race down the other end of the floor, and he throws a very nifty pass fake to lure the defender out of position on the layup attempt. Mann goes up with the layup and finishes very well. He had a very awesome night for the Clippers.